Let's look at the sludge processing of thickener sticking multiplex plate dehydrator. First, extra sludge flowed by the sludge supply pump during the concentrating process combined with polyferric sulfate and polymer to form any flock. The formed flock is concentrated in the process of discharging the residue liquid, separated from the sludge by residue discharging device. The residue liquid flows into the processing site and the thickened sludge is induced to the dehydrator. In the dehydration process, the sludge concentrated from the thickener is induced to the dehydrator, concentrated sequentially at the same time due to the compressing gravity caused by the structure and principle of the dehydrator, and then discharged as a high-dense dehydration cake. In case of the thickener, the excess sludge or surplus sludge flowing into the bottom of the thickener is mixed with the flocculant by using an agitator. Through this process, while moving from the bottom to the top of the concentration tub, the sludge becomes a harder flock. Residue discharging device used to discharge the residue liquid from the formed flock composed of any moving disc and fixed disc, driven by a scraper. Washers are placed in between these discs to ensure a regular gap. At the result, any aperture is formed and discharges the residue liquid in the middle of concentration process. When the scraper rotates, as the moving disc experiences any microflow from the top surface to the bottom surface of the fixed disc, the scraper removes any flock stuck to the surface of the disc and prevents clogging of the aperture beforehand. In the dehydration facility, while the sludge flow through an inlet is moved constantly by any pitch-reduced screw, the residue fluid is discharged through a gap-reduced filtration part. Unlike other screw-equipped dehydrators, the moving ring driven by a rod for pendulum motion located at the gearbox on both sides of the screws and the ring fixed to a support beam, which maintains the shape of the dehydrator, is laminated in the middle of washers. This type of structure maintains a certain gap between the exterior of the screws and the interior of the ring, and prevents wear and tear of the screws and the ring. Additionally, according to the left and right rotation of the moving ring, the function that removes the foreign substances in the gap can be maintained permanently.